Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel and welcome to my final training update before the cobbles. We head to the cobbles on Friday and we're there for about 10 days. So let's go through what went well, what didn't go so well, and then what the plan for those 10 days is. So we'll start with the training that went well, and I think that's a pretty easy answer. My strength training, either at the gym or in my home gym, has gone really well and been really consistent at hitting those 2 sessions a week while trying to incorporate some rides as well. Training that I do, obviously, you've seen some of them, but squats, whether it be just general barbell or goblet squats with a barbell and my legs on a slant board, hip thrusts, hamstring thrusts for the glutes and hamstrings, deadlifts and trap bar deadlifts for the glutes and hamstrings as well, and even started doing some RDLs as well, just towards the tail end of the month. I can really feel the difference with my hamstring and hip thrusts, especially. My last session was, for both of them, was six or seven reps of 74.9 kilos, and for the hip thrusts I managed to do 5 sets of 7, and the hamstring thrusts was 3 sets of 6. So that's a massive jump from where I started off, where I think I was around 40 kilos in January. Now it's up to 74, so that's a brilliant improvement. My squats, they haven't gone quite as well as I would have liked. I'm now, my last squat session was 45 kilos for 1 set. Then I did try and go up to 50 for 2 sets, and it felt okay. I just need to be consistent now in hitting those bigger weights in my squats and making sure I can get the reps in for the amount of sets that I want to do. But it is going well. I feel my VMO is a much stronger than it was before, which is great. And in conjunction with the hamstring, I can really feel the benefit of that. One thing that didn't go so well, there's a couple of things, but the big one is the fact that I don't know where my endurance is at. I've done 93 kilometers on the road this month, and with the rides that I'm being planned, that's not enough to truly know where my fit endurance is at going into, say, a 100k pilgrimage to the Velodrome or a 60k ride around the cobbled climbs of Flanders. It's going to be a case of hoping my strength training is really built at some endurance. So when I get there, my recovery from going hard on the hills or on the sectors is good. But a bit of an unknown, which is going to be very interesting. Um, Another thing that I've already touched on, but it didn't go so well, is working out the weights for squats. And I've really floated in between different weights. I need to find a weight that I can lift comfortably, but also lift to a certain amount of failure, so I can begin to carefully build up the strength rather than guessing. Another thing I need to add, and particularly going in towards the summer for my trip to the Alps, will be functional core stability work. I've done next to nothing. I've done bits and bobs, but I've done next to nothing. And that is silly. I need to get consistent in doing some core training. So, what's on the agenda for next week? First off, the 2 races. Well, 4 races: men's and women's Paris-Roubaix and Tour of Flanders. That is why we're there ultimately. But in terms of riding, the first few days will be about getting used to the cobbles again. We'll do like whole V, we'll do 4 or 5 sectors on a ride just to get ourselves used to it. I'm really looking forward, and I hope I get to do this year, to do almost like a time trial from Senyong to either the end of the Carrefour or the end of Gruson, taking in those Beaujolais, Campin-en-Pavel, and the Carrefour sectors without waiting for anyone. I really can't wait to see what sort of time that I could potentially do on those. Elsewhere, we'll have a pilgrimage to the Velodrome. That'll be the big Paris Roubaix ride that we'll do. We aim to do about 100k, I think it is. So taking in 17, 18 sectors from Wallers, so it'll be 19, I guess, to the Velodrome. We'll see how we go and play that a little bit by ear, but we will want to do a pilgrimage to the Velodrome. The other big ride that we will do is around Flanders, taking in the famous Quermont, Paterberg, Poppenberg, Tyenberg, and the Kreuzberg, and whatever else we can fit in, all being well. Obviously, again, that depends on fitness and endurance and whether I've actually cocked up in terms of my training for this week. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned in the holiday for a few videos, previews, reviews of Flanders and Roubaix, and then I'll do some more videos on cobbled sectors again, like I did last year, and the pilgrimage to the Velodrome and around Flanders. Thank you and take care.
Yeah,